Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coding Hives. This is Rasina with you. Hope you all are doing good. So, in today's video, I am going to walk you through the basics of Python programming. First, we will understand about variables. In Python, variables are used to store data. Here, I am creating a variable name equal to, for example, Anna. Okay. So, here, variables are created by assigning a value with the equal symbol. So this is the variable name and this is the value. Okay. And we can say variable name should start with a letter or underscore, and they can include numbers as well. For example, here I can use something like this. It's okay. And we can also start with the underscore. That is also okay. Also need to understand that Python is case sensitive. For example, if I am writing a name like this, that means these both are different. Okay. So here these three are different only. I will show you that here. For printing anything in Python, we can use print. Okay. So here name and this name and this name, these three are different. I am declaring another variable age equal to 23. Okay. So here age is a variable name and 23 is the value. Okay. So here age holds the value of 23. I will add one more example like is student equal to true. Here is student is a boolean variable that holds true or false. Clear? I can print this thing here age comma is student. Okay. So you can see that also here. I will explain about naming conventions. When creating variables or functions, it is important to give them meaningful names. This makes our code easier to read. For example, we can use snake case for variable name. For example, like user for username, I can use something like this. This is snake case, or we can use camel case. That means like the first character should be capital. Okay. So here we can use something like this. This we can say as camel case. Okay. So always avoid using Python keywords like if, while, or return, etc. Okay, as these are the reserved words in Python. So we can say good usernames like user underscore name equal to John. Okay, so this is a good username. Other instead of that, if we are using like UN something like is John, this is not a good way. Okay, this is a bad way only. Clear? Next, we will understand about data types. So in Python, there are various data types, each serving a different purpose. Here are the most commonly used data types. Integers are the normal numbers like whole numbers. Floats we can say as decimal numbers. Strings like name. Booleans like true or false conditions. Okay. To understand one thing very important, that Python automatically decides the data type based on the value you assign. Okay. As whenever we are dealing in a programming language such as C, there we need to declare a integer variable like int a equal to 7 or something like that. But in Python, we can use something like simply we can use something like a equal to 7. That is a difference, right? Like Python automatically decides the data type based on the value you assign. Clear? That is why it is named as a dynamically typed language. Python is named as a dynamically typed language because of this. Okay. You can change data types using type conventions like int, str, etc. Okay. So here x equal to 10 means it's an integer variable. Now I'm assigning y equal to 3.14. That means it's a floating point number. Then x is equal, z is equal to hello. That means it's a string. Is active equal to true. That means it's a boolean variable. Clear? Is active is a boolean variable. Now we can check the data type of these variables using a type function. So I will show that print type of x. Okay. So when I'm going to run this, you can see int This is class in, right? So the same for these all things. For example, I'm giving here is it. You can see we will get string str, right? So this is the way we can check the data types. So next thing we are going to learn is input. You can ask for user input using input function. So this allows the program to collect data from the user and use it in our code. Okay. So input is always treated as a string. Like whatever we are getting from the user is a string only. So we can convert it into other types like int or float if needed. Okay. And the input function can display a message to the user. Like we can give a message like input the number or input your name, something like that. For example, name equal to, here the function is input, right? Input, enter your name. I'm entering something. For example, hello. Like I'm just giving a message. I'm just welcoming the user like hello, and we can concatenate the messages using a plus symbol, and we can add the variable name. Here the variable name is name, right? So I will show that here. You can see enter your name. Okay. I'm giving Anu. So we got the output like hello, then the name we entered using the keyboard, right? So that is hello Anu. I told you that we can convert the data to other types like int or float, right? So that also I will show you here. So now I'm going to accepting age from the user, right? So here age is, age is a number, right? So that also I will show you your age. So here whenever we are inputting this thing, we will get as a string only. Okay. So I want to convert that into a number, right? So for that I can do a typecasting like int. Okay. So whatever input we are getting, that can be converted into integer. Okay. So now I'm going to run this thing. So now I am giving input Asha and age 22. So you can see here the thing is your age is a plus age. As this is a string, so we can use here string only. Okay. So here also we can use this thing like typecasting. Okay. Now you can see we are getting output like Asha, then 22. You are getting your age is 22. Clear? Now I will explain you if else conditions. Conditions are essentials to control the flow of your program. So the if statement helps our program make decisions based on some conditions. We need to use if to check a condition. Okay. And we have some more thing like elif, which stands for else if, and it checks multiple conditions. And if we have only else, it runs if none of the previous conditions are true. So also we need to know that indentations are very important in Python. Like it ensures our code blocks are indented properly. Okay. This code I will take from here. We will make these all things comments. Okay. I'm getting some input from the user age. Okay. So I want to check his or her age is less than 80. I mean, she's a minor or adult. And I'm checking if age. Okay. If age less than 18. If age less than 18, we can say print you are minor. Okay. If that condition is wrong and I need to check one more condition, in that case we can use elif. This is a short of else if. Okay. Elif I am checking age equal to 18. Okay. Age equal to 18, you can say print you are an adult. Both of these conditions are wrong. So in that case, it will execute this else part. Here I will change something like this. You just became an adult. So in the else part, I can write print you are an adult. Enter your age. So 22. So you are an adult. Okay. If I am running this and I'm giving 18. You can see you just became an adult. Okay. So now we will understand about loops. Loops allows us to repeat the task multiple times. There are mainly two types of loops we are using in programming, that is for loop and while loop. So for loop is used when you know the number of times to repeat the action. Okay. And while loop is using when you want to repeat as long as the condition is true. For loop is using when you know the number of times to repeat an action. So for example, I can write for I in, then we need to use this range. That means we need to repeat 3 times, 0, 1 and 2. Okay. And I can write something like Python is, I'm running this thing. We are getting this 3 times, right? So if I'm giving 2, you can see we are getting it 2 times. Now I will explain you about this while loop. Okay. So I told while loop is used when you want to repeat as long as a condition is true. Okay. So here I can say, for example, I can give count equal to 0. So this is a variable with the value 0. Okay. Now I can write while count less than 3. Okay. So while count less than 3, we need to do something inside that book. So here I can write print. I'm just simply say giving hello. Okay. Count equal to count plus 1. Okay. Instead of this line, we can make it more short. I will write that also, like count plus equal to 1. Okay. Now you can check this output here. We are getting like hello 3 times, right? So first initially counter will be 0, then it will print hello, then it will be incremented by 1, then again checking 1 less than 3. If it is so, it will print hello, again incrementing. So while count equal to 2, I mean till count equal to 2, it will execute like 0, 1 and 2. That is why we are getting 3 times. For example, if I am giving 5 here, you can see we are getting output 5 times. Functions are reusable blocks of code that you can call whenever you need them. They help you to avoid writing the same code again and again. So functions are one of the important concept in all programming languages, especially Python. So the concept of reusability we are achieving through function as well. We are creating a function, we need to use a keyword def. Okay, so use def to define a function. You can pass data, that means parameters, into the function and they can return a result as. So here I'm going to write a function greet. Okay, and inside that I'm passing an argument or parameter. Okay, so here I'm simply print giving hello, then this name. Okay, so this is my function and I can call the function here like function name and the parameter, like here one argument is there, right? So here I am passing and one more time I'm calling the function here. That is the one important thing of function, like we can reuse the code as much as we want. So now I'm running this code. You can see hello Anne and hello Bob we are getting. Okay. A list is a collection of items. You can store multiple values in a list and access them by their own position. I mean index. So the things you need to understand, that list is like ordered collection, meaning that they remember the order of elements like arrays in other languages. We need to use square bracket to define a list. List can store mixed data type, I mean integers and strings, etc. A list. So this is a list of fruits. If I want to access the first element in my list, I can simply use fruits of 0. Okay, as how we are accessing an element in an array. Okay, so you can see the output as apple. Okay, so now how we can add an item or element in a list. For that we have some functions. like fruits dot append. For example, I want to add orange. I can add something like this, and I will show you by printing this fruits list. Okay, you can see here, this is the way we can print a list. Okay, so the thing is, lists are mutable, like we can change the data. Okay, we can do fruits of 1 equal to, I'm giving guava. Okay, that is also possible. I'm simply printing that also here. You can see this is changed by guava. Okay, so now I will tell you about a tuple. A tuple is like a immutable list. Immutable means we cannot change, we cannot edit anything. Okay, so a tuple is similar to a list, but it is immutable, meaning it cannot be changed after creation. Okay, so what is the difference between this tuple and list is we are using function bracket to define it. Okay, and tuples are usually used for data that should not change. Okay, so for example, I will give you one example, like I'm declaring a variable coordinates as a tuple. So here I can give like this 10 comma 20. So this is a tuple with the values 10 comma 20. Okay, so here I will show you by printing this also. Print coordinates of 0. Okay, so it will give output as 10. Okay, so the thing is we cannot change that. For example, I will show you that coordinates of 0 equal to, I'm giving 100. Okay, now you can see when I'm giving, you will get output like tuple object does not support item assignment, right? So we cannot do something like this. So next we will understand about sets. Set means unique values only. Okay, like a set is a collection that does not allow duplicates. There will be no duplicate inside a set. So it is great for storing values where uniqueness matters. So here the difference is we are using curly braces to define a set, and sets automatically remove all duplicates. Okay, we can give input with duplicates, but it will remove all duplicates. So now I'm declaring a set named colors, and I'm simply giving some colors. Like you noticed that here I gave 2 red, right? So we will simply print this color so that you know like if there is a duplicate or not. Okay, so you can see we got only 1 red, right? But we give 2 red, but it is printing only 1 red. Set means no duplication. Okay, next I will tell you about dictionaries. Dictionary means key value pairs. Okay, a dictionary stores data in key value pairs. It is like a real world dictionary where each word has a definition, right? Here also we are using curly braces to define a dictionary. You can use any type of data for keys and values. Okay, so for example, I'm declaring a dictionary person equal to, then I told there is a key and a value, right? So I'm declaring key as name and its value as and. Okay, then another one more field is like age. Okay, and its value is I'm giving 22. Clear? So we will print that also here. I'm simply printing person of name. So this will print person of name, that means and, right? So we will check that also here. Yeah, here I forgot to give this. Now I will run this thing. So now we are getting the output as and, like person of name. If I'm simply giving print person, you can see we will get the whole dictionary like name and age 22. Okay, now I will tell you about string manipulations. Okay, strings are one of the most used data types in our programming, and Python offers powerful ways to manipulate them. So, strings can be concatenated using the plus operator. You can slice strings using indices, And Python provides built-in string methods like lower, upper, replace, and more. Okay. So for example, I will write like greeting equal to hello hello world. Okay. I want the first character from this, so I can simply use like greeting of 0. Okay. So we will get H. You can see here we got H, right? I want hello only. Greeting of, I want 0 from 0 to index till this, right? So I can give like 0. Here I can give like from starting from 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I can give something like this. You can see we are getting output as hello. So this is slicing, string slicing we can say. So we can take a part of the string using this way. Okay. And if you want to convert all into uppercase, we can also do like that. So for that, I'm simply copying this thing from here. Uh, so here we have a function for making upper. You can see this is getting output as upper. Same like a lower is there, replace is there. So there are many string manipulation functions. I will give you one more example like a replace. Okay. So for that I can give greeting dot replace. I can give the argument I like which word we need to replace. So here I can give I want to replace this with Python. Okay. So this is my new greeting equal to greeting dot replace. Okay. So now I will print that thing, new greeting. You can see we are getting hello Python. Okay, so this is our new greeting. So next we will understand about exceptions. Exceptions means prevent crashes. Like when your program encounters an error, it may crash, right? So using exception handling, you can prevent that from happening and handle the errors in a good way. For achieving this exception handling, we have something like a try block. So try block is where you put the code that might cause an error, and there is one more block that is except, which is where we handle the error if it comes. Okay, inside this try block we are writing the code which may have some problem or some errors. Okay, so for example here I am taking one input from the user. Okay, int, there is a function input, right? Input, and here I am asking the user to input a number. Okay, so this is the input function only, and then I am simply printing that thing like whatever the user is entering. I'm just printing something like your number is then this num. Okay, so here this num. So this is the block which we need to check, is this any problem or not. And whenever any problem is coming, any error is coming, it will come to this except block. Okay. So here I can print something like h like uh, oops. Okay. So now I will try to run this code, enter a number, right? And but I'm giving something like this. You can see we entered some string, that is why it comes here like that. Okay. So that's it for today's video. That is a wrap on the basics of Python. We covered variables, naming conventions, data types, input conditions, loops, functions, lists, tuples, sets, dictionaries, string manipulation, and exception handling. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.